Trading Market Technicals morning call video for Friday, July 19th. Well, markets continue to grind higher, making all-time highs. Dow Jones up 78, Nasdaq up 1, S&P up 8.5, and Russell continues to be on fire, up 7 3/4. Now, where do we go from here? Well, we had some interesting developments, and we are right now still at resistance in the Dow and the S&P. Transports actually started playing catch-up, our leader, and really started popping through. I think there's got to be a lot of caution here, guys. There's a lot of craziness, so to speak, of buying stocks and not letting the markets go down because of our infamous Ben Bernanke pumping liquidity into the economy and not slowing down at all, which I think is totally reckless. But again, that's just my opinion. One has to be very cautious here because at any given moment the markets can roll over. Now, yes, we do need a catalyst. We need some sort of event, maybe a geopolitical event, some massive downgrade, which we did not get. Actually, the S&P actually upgraded our status, the United States status, yesterday after the close. So that's actually a very good sign that we're kind of away from any downgrades, further downgrades in the U.S. So that's actually really good. And I do think long term the markets will continue to go higher, but you just cannot go down 3 days and then go up 15, 16 days and then go down 2 and go up another 15, 16 days. Now, it can do that, sure, but we want to really use caution. I'm only saying that's not to scare anybody. I just want everybody to be aware. The way I manage my risk is that I'm actually just only looking to trade intraday or maybe sell some premium, some spreads in options, but that's really about it until this market can absolutely come down to reality and at least give us a correction that that's actually noted and worthwhile to move ahead and say, hey, now it's time to accumulate stocks. I will not be accumulating any stocks up here because like the last time when the markets were at these levels, the market sold off and everybody that bought up there are trapped and now are either gone or have now just broken even from that and had to ride that wave down. So just keep a steady eye. And let's just see if we can get some red flags. And that's what these videos are for, is really to kind of gauge, where we possibly can go from here. So last night we had Google, we had Microsoft come out, Chipotle Mexican Grill, and futures actually sold off about a good 10 handles after the close when Microsoft totally missed top and bottom line. Google generated some decent earnings, but they also had gotten crushed at one point. They were down about $56, and the futures really were noted what was going on, and the futures really took a big tumble, down about 10. Now, we are down only about 1.5 early morning Friday as I'm recording this, but it's just something to take note that traders and investors are noticing. And really, we have a mixed bag here in technology, so that's also something of a concern. And is it going to spill into, a reversal? No one knows. The only price is going to tell us, and that's what we're going to be looking out for. Okay, now let's just go right in here. Not much to really show you. Markets are really just grinding higher north on no volume. Very little movement intraday as we get these gap ups and then we get these little moves, little spikes up at the end of the day. But as you can see here, you can read it right from the VIX, absolutely doing nothing, 13 and a half here. We've just been literally sideways consolidating this whole week. Okay, now let's take a look at our NYMO. And as you can see here, we are now starting to get back up into these overbought areas. But again, we're still not overbought enough that I feel that we are looking out for some sort of a sell-off. Now, unless Microsoft and Google triggers it, then we could see some downward momentum tomorrow. But if that's not the case, then I just think on a Friday, summer Friday, we actually grind higher and close positive on Friday. So I would not be looking to initiate any shorts unless you have some clues that the markets are starting to roll over, and I think profit taking is in order. But that's not going to we're not going to know that until price starts to move on the opening. Okay, now let's take a look at the U.S. dollar. And U.S. dollar here kind of hanging in this 82.5. And remember, my anticipation is that the dollar moves down a little bit more right up in this area. The markets break out. Everybody gets in the bandwagon, breaks out of new highs, and starts buying at these levels. And then the U.S. dollar catches a bid, and then the dollar starts to roll back up again, and then equities start to move lower. That's what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to happen, but we'll just again take it one step at a time. I'm watching what the dollar does very closely intraday to see what kind of movement or any kind of clues that we may have, for our trading. Okay, now we have the bullish percent SPX. As you can see here, this was on the buy signal for the first day of July, and we have been literally creeping up ever since. We're not quite overbought as of yet, but just keep that in mind. We're getting into these areas here where we might be able to get some sort of a sell-off, at least a quick sell-off, in between. Take a look at our crude. Got a couple of comments on that for today's video, and as you can see here, crude continues to push higher. A lot of commodities are trending. They trend a lot. They just like the forex. So you have gold, you have silver, copper, WTI. They usually trend a lot. So that's why it's not good to start taking a counter trend fade. You really need to wait and see when price starts breaking down. To me here personally, I'm not looking to short this at all. 108, and we're in this area now. 110 would be an ideal candidate for a counter trend trade, but that's not me. I'd rather have oil get down below 100, somewhere in here, if that could happen, and then look to buy it on the next pullback, or actually where the next pullback stops, makes that higher low from this low. Then I think crude oil can actually go to at least 120. And then that's going to be something to watch for in the transports and see if that's going to start affecting the economy. Okay, but right now, positive crude, positive market demand, everybody's buying, everybody's shopping, so that's really where you get this from. And also, of course, you have a war premium that's involved in here too as well. You have geopolitical event risks in Egypt, Syria, so that's also help fueling as well. Crude oil, along with the recovery, so to speak. Okay, take a look at the USO, BPENR. As you can see here, we had that crossover right up in here. I like to buy or short. Now, if the bullish percent index gets above 90, 95, then I would definitely take an objective short in crude oil. But if we're right in this middle line here, I'm not looking to buy anything in this area. I like to buy when it gets below 50, anywhere between 30, 40. And then right up in here to see where this market turns. And then that's where I like to start accumulating oil, is right up in these areas, or short up in these areas in here. But right up in here between 50 and 75, really in no man's land. And even really about 45 to 75, I'd like to get them just outside these bands here. It's just a better short, and you can manage your risk a little bit better as well. Okay, take a look at gold, right? Speaking of the dollar. I've been saying gold 1350 here. Right now, I'm looking for a big pop up in gold. 1350, 1400 comes right underneath that 20-day moving average. 1421 right now is where it sits. This will continue to come down as the trading days go by. So I'm looking for, really like to get a short off right up in here. 14, let's say 1350 to 1400-ish. Right up in here. Would look to start looking to short gold on a trigger only. Okay? Take a look at spiders. Again, we didn't quite break through it. Intraday we did. We took out the highs, but we're still there below it, so we do have this double top. And again, nothing really is wrong other than the fact that we're just up for 15 days in a row, just about. So just a word of caution there. We're a bit extended, and we could easily roll over at any given moment. Here we go with the diamonds. Diamonds up the Dow Jones ETF. We're just sitting right up in here nicely, and we could break out tomorrow. But remember, we had a little bit of negative sentiment after the close with Microsoft and Google. So we'll just see if these are the two companies that are going to actually turn this market around. Here's the transports. Like I said, usually this is what happens with the transport. They usually start to play catch up, and sure enough, it did. It really broke out of this long-term uptrend line from November, and now we're just actually popping up higher. So looking pretty constructive, and we'll just, again, take it one step at a time here, guys. If you are long, just tighten up your stops, or if you're not looking to sell anytime soon, buy a little protection. It's cheap, to keep you in the trade, and you can make some money actually while you're long stock by selling out of the money calls if you wanted to as well. IWMs daily, really, what can you say? Really big moves, but again, we did take out the highs and continue to make all-time highs. It's a nice gauge of risk. Market participants are easy, settled, and they don't mind taking on more risk. Me personally, I would never buy something up in these areas here. I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback. Excuse me, maybe back up into this area at the 100-ish, 101 area before adding to any new position. Goldman Sachs did really well. The banks did well yesterday, as you can see. Now, if we could take this area out here, now we have some bullish symmetry again, right? We came up, we flagged into the 8, and now we're breaking out higher. So this area here is what I'm going to be looking for probably the next pullback, breakout, and the next pullback. Could start looking to trade Goldman on the long side. Even right now, you can actually. Excuse me, XLF, same thing. What can you say? But again, a bit extended. This whole market is extended. I wouldn't be buying anything right now without some sort of a pullback. I mean, it's the way it is. The markets, as you can see here, you could just, right from July, right from January, all the way up until the end of February, we got a 1 or 2 day pullback. Then we rallied all the way, sideways consolidation the rest of the month. So it hasn't been a real exciting first half of the new year. I mean, now we just got a little bit of volatility, and all of a sudden that's it. That's the end of it. So, use caution, guys. That's all I'm saying. It's a dangerous market out here if you don't know what you're doing. Trading market technicals. Apple, we're right up in here into this 50-day moving average, and we are literally just sitting here. So Apple creeping above here, which is a good sign, and I like the fact that it's now just above the 50-day moving average. Again, that could change. We do have options X. Keep that in mind as well. Things get skewed. But we'll see. Let's just see what happens. If we can close and consolidate above here, then again, like I mentioned in the other videos, I think 470 is the next target. If we cannot and we start to fail, then we take out the 418, then I think you're going to test that 400, and then, of course, the 385, 386 lows of the double bottom here. And then lastly is the Qs. Qs were a little bit weaker, and that was because of eBay. We had a couple of earnings come out the previous night, and some of the tech stocks, again, were a mixed bag. A lot of earnings have been mixed, too. And remember, guys, a lot of analysts brought down estimates. Okay, so that's not really that great if they can't even beat on analysts bringing down existing estimates here. So it's really a mixed bag. It would be definitely a concern if I was a big bull holding a lot of stocks where tech is actually a big driver of any move, any bullish move higher. So just keep that in mind. Okay, guys, I want everybody to enjoy the weekend. Get some rest. Next week should be really interesting in the markets. Be safe out there. Really, please use your stops, or at least have a mental stop on any trades that you have. Take it if you get the stop. It's not worth being stubborn with this crazy market that we're in. Have a great day. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll speak to you on Monday.